Yo, yo, yo. Hey, guys, it is Rick Ginn. And some of you guys know I've been out of town for a while. I've actually been out of the country. Me and Zach had a fun planned trip and only missed one live because we had to travel and they don't have Wi. Well, they don't have really good Wi-Fi on an airplane. Everybody kind of stares at you. So those of you who don't know me, my name's Rick Ginn. I'm a little bit of a hoarse voice. It's because I've been out chasing my dreams, doing real estate and doing what I love, which you guys know I love to go out fishing. I love the outdoors, and wholesaling makes it all possible for me. So I thank you guys for joining me. This is the Rick Ginn channel. And for those of you who don't know me, I've been doing wholesaling for 20 plus years. And I did it when it wasn't very popular, and I do it when it was popular, and I will always do it. So if you guys haven't figured it out by now, I do it. My son does it. I taught him how to do it. We kind of run a family affair here, and I truly love what I do. So hopefully it comes out. So here's what I need you guys to do is use the comments and introduce yourselves. Let us know what market you're in. The reason why I do this on top of the Flip with Rick and all the other lives I do with Rick, so we can connect with you guys more, so you can get to know us more on a personal basis. And sometimes people relate more to me, sometimes to Zach. Whatever it is, I can answer any question you have. So tonight we're talking about all about the top 10 do's and don'ts of wholesaling real estate in my 20 years experience. And I'm going to give them to you in order of what I think is the most important. So pay attention. You guys don't have to take notes. The whole thing's recorded for you. So if you want to watch it live and you want to interact, if you go in the comments, in the upper right-hand corner, there is a pinned, there's a pinned comment up there on how you can join us for live. I take everybody in order they come in, and dude, let's just get to it. So it's really cool. I actually traveled to Mexico for over a week and was able to still interact with you guys, run my business, and spend time with my son. And that's something that wholesaling has done for me over the last 20 years. And I continue to operate that way. So if something like that really excites you and you're looking for a change and wholesaling somehow hits you, either one of my videos popped up or Zach's popped up or both our videos popped up, that's what we do. So I have an extreme passion for this business because it gives me the ultimate freedom of financial freedom and freedom of time, which is really the most absolute important. So guys, let me know who you are in the comments. I see Joseph in there. I see Shaquila. I got a little bit of tickle in my throat, so I'm working through it, but I've been doing a lot of screaming. So I get excited when I go fishing. Actually, I relate fishing just like I do to wholesaling. I just love it. Honestly, if I didn't get paid for it, I'd probably still do it because I love the chase, but I get paid very well for doing it. So we are going to take the first 15, 20 minutes or so and talk about the top 10 do's and don'ts. And guys, I'm speaking from my experience. I don't copy anybody else. I tell you exactly what it is. And I want you to take this information and see if it resonates with you. So if you've never done a wholesale deal before, you are in the perfect place. If you've been doing wholesaling for 20 years plus, you're in the perfect place. Because the really cool part is me and Zach don't charge anything for our services. So if you're brand new to us, this is the first thing I want you to do. If you have never heard of myself or this is the first time this video is hitting to you, I want you to go over and we have a course for you. Now, before you start like freaking out, oh my God, they're going to sell me a course. I want you to understand the whole thing. It's free. Go over to freewholesaling.com. We teach you from start to finish how to make your first $100,000 in wholesaling. There's so many people out there trying to sell you a course on wholesaling. I'm here to tell you, nobody's got more experience than me in doing this that actually gives it to you for free. And remember, I run a 7-figure active wholesaling business right here in South Florida. And I don't only do my local markets, I do it virtually all over. I love doing real estate. I not only do wholesaling, I do creative deals. I do commercial deals. I do absolutely everything. I love this business. So if it resonates with you, great. You're in the right place. The first thing is ask your questions and go over to freewholesaling.com And then if you really feel inspired, we did a 30-day challenge back earlier in the summer, and we recorded all of them, and they're all in 30-day sequential order. So you can start with day one. And if you want to deep dive into it, I promise you this, everything's in there that you need to be successful at wholesaling. The only difference is you have to take action. Like, I cannot throw a duplex to you like a quarterback and make it hit in the front of your driveway. You're going to have to go out and get it. You're going to have to do work, and you're going to have to take massive, consistent action. But here's the really cool part is I have the plan here for you. So all those slick dudes and gals out there trying to sell you these $5,000 and $10,000 courses, and they just started like 3 or 4 years ago, I got you covered on it. Me and Zach have it. We have over 25 years experience in there. Guys, I think wholesaling should be like learning your ABCs. It should be for free. Okay. Make your first 100 grand and then launch where you want. Scale your business, go through the sky, whatever you want to do. We have multiple opportunities. Not only do we offer you the free course, you can JV with us, and we do these one-on-one links on. I've got 4 or 5 of you on here right now. So I'm just going to get to my teaching part so I can spend more time with you guys as long as I have a voice. So I have fun on vacation. So I got a horsey throat because I've been screaming a lot while I'm fishing. So I get excited. So let's roll into it. So the top 10 do's and don'ts. And what I did is I separate them from what to do. So I'm going to focus on what to do first, because to me, the don'ts are actually kind of easy. So let's talk about the to-dos. Okay. And this is absolutely critically important. Now, I kind of did them in the order as I've seen in the last 20 years of my business. You guys might want to mix them up a little bit, but I'm telling you, these 5 do's are a must if you plan on being a successful wholesaler. There is no other way around it. Okay. Coming in at number 5, vet your cash buyers. And what do I mean by that? It's exactly what I'm saying here is so many guys get so excited to get a property under contract, and you go out and you try to get cash buyers. Now, by the way, you don't have to wait till you have a property under contract to get cash buyers. In fact, I encourage you to do it beforehand. The key is here is you actually have to vet your cash buyers. So many people want to just do a giant email blast, a text blast, and I'm here to tell you that's the old school way of doing it. Like, you can't get away doing that anymore. The problem is you've got to have quality over quantity. Okay. If you have 500 cash buyers, I guarantee you are lying to me. 100%. You just have 500 people on a list, and about 85% of those are other wholesalers looking to figure out what you're trying to do and reverse engineer you. And most of those people don't even have cash. They're just trying to daisy chain you. So daisy chains the art where one wholesaler contracts it to another wholesaler, and multiple people get paid. It's not a problem with it, but they're usually a disaster in the long run for you, especially if it's your deal. So vet your cash buyers. How do I do it? Dude, just pick up the phone and call them. Okay. And ask in order of importance of the question. Okay. I don't want you forming a relationship with cash buyers. I want you to be all business. Okay. The first thing you're going to ask them, and by the way, you can be perfectly nice doing this, is, do you have a proof of funds? If they don't have a proof of funds, get off the phone with them. That means they don't have the money to buy your property. So I just save you 10 minutes with that cash buyer. Get through them and then just narrow it down. If you go over to freewholesaling.com, I teach you step-by-step how to do this. Guys, you have to vet your cash buyers. Unfortunately, 80% of them are lying to you, and they're going to waste your time. So if they don't have a proof of funds, just say, listen, when you get a proof of funds, give me a call back. I'll be happy to put you on my list. I don't care if you only have 3 legitimate cash buyers. You're better off than the guy or gal that has 500 cash buyers in an email list. It's complete BS, guys. Quality over quantity rules in cash buyers. Don't ever forget it. Let's move on to number 4, which is going to tie in nicely to number 5. You have to sell your contract, not the property. Wait a minute, Rick. I thought we were selling properties. The reality is you're basically selling your equitable interest in a contract. This is what we do in wholesaling. Okay. The minute you start trying to sell the property with photos to big lists and putting it out on the internet, you are now brokering real estate. In most states, that's going to require a license, and it can get you in trouble. So you just have to change your wording around. I give you the simple of it. The rest of it, go over to freewholesaling.com. We teach you how to do it. You are selling your contract. Okay. You can provide basic comps. You can provide ranges. You can provide them a copy of your contract. If you want to give them a photo of where this property is ultimately located, it's up to you. But this is why you don't want to have 500 unknown people on your list, because a lot of time they can be people that are looking to get you in trouble. Okay. We have to sell our contracts. That is what wholesaling does. If you do it any other way, you are not doing it the right way, and you are at risk for being fined of doing real estate without a license. Guys, I didn't make these rules up. I just find ways that we can make a living doing this. You have to constantly talk about selling your contract. Yes, you can share the property. Yes, you can point reference pictures out, but you always have to talk about selling your contract. We are selling paper, guys. You have that legal right. That right's never going to go away because the banks have to use it for their mortgages, their assignments, and everything like that. And that's what wholesalers take advantage of it. If you go around representing properties and showing them, you are nothing more than a pretty realtor. And I don't know about you, but I'm not that pretty. I'm not a good realtor. I am a wholesaler. So always try to bring your terminology back to the contract. Okay. And if you vet your buyers, you don't have to worry about people trying to bust you on the property versus the contract. Everybody got it? Dude, give me a thumbs up here, man. I just got to make sure everyone knows it. I know this is like the basics, but guys, I'm giving you 20 years of the stuff that I've had to correct. And all these 5 I'm giving you, I had to correct in my business. And I'm trying to save you the headache of you trying to have to do the same mistakes I did. Coming in at number 3, in the beginning of wholesaling real estate, you should focus on one marketing channel. Go deep as you can in that channel, find a deal. It will build your confidence level up, and then add one more marketing channel. Do not do what gurus teach you and try to start on like 5 or 10 channels at the first time. Is the fastest way to make you broke, upset, and discouraged. Okay. It's much easier to master one chapter at a time, just like you did in school. Although school's probably not a good analogy for me. It's so important. So if you're going to be doing driving for dollars, which we love this method, that's what you want to go deep on when you do it. Okay. Go get 500 or 1,000 leads and churn one of those into a contract, and then sell that contract. Once you master that, then if you want to add texting, if you want to add cold calling, whatever you want to do. But I find people have more success if they'll dedicate to one area, because we only have so much bandwidth. And if I teach you like 5 or 10 different ways to do it, I'm just going to frustrate and confuse you. And so for that matters, what I've noticed over 20 years, how I got my first success is I picked one method and I went deep in it and I got a deal. Now, you might want to get 2 or 3 deals. If it's working for you, don't ever leave it. Okay. That's like me catching fish in a spot and then leaving it to try to go catch other fish. Guys, always take the fish that are biting. That's why I want you to have focus, have blinders on, pick one channel and go deep. Okay. Coming in at number 2, you got to make more offers. So many times you have a seller and they're kind of on the fence, and you make the personal decision not to make the offer because you just feel like they're never going to take it anyways. In wholesaling, you can never make enough offers. Let me repeat it. You cannot make enough offers in wholesaling. Don't ever disqualify somebody if you go out to meet them. In my opinion, if you're going to go out and meet somebody on an appointment, or you're going to send them a virtual contract through a DocuSign or whatever, send them the offer. They might not take it there, but you might induce them to take action. Sometimes the husband says no and the wife says yes. She gets the offer and she smacks him over the head and says, you need to take that offer when you get rid of this property. Guys, you have to make more offers. You need to think 10 times outside your box. If you're going to go out and get those leads and you're going to talk to them and they're going to walk you down the aisle, once they start committing to you, at worst, make an offer. The worst they can do is say no to you. Okay. So many times you get to it at the end, you go, oh, she's never going to take this offer. You have no idea what's going on in that seller's mind. So if you're engaging with sellers and you're making progress, make an offer. The worst they're going to say is no. It doesn't cost you anything. If you don't make an offer, you have no idea if they're going to take it or not. And another person can make that offer, and you just gave all your hard work away and you set them up for another successful offer. Guys, in the beginning, I did not make enough offers. And I'm here to tell you, offer like crazy, because people talk and then sometimes you make an offer and they go, wow, okay, maybe I just need to take it. It works. Why do I know? Because the first 2 years, I did not make enough offers. And once I decided to 10x my offers, my acceptance rate went through the roof, because people were taking offers that in my mind, I was saying they're never going to take this offer. Okay. Coming in at number one, boy, you better know this answer if you guys watch this channel, because this is the absolute truth. You ready? Seek motivation first. So many of you spend time on every other aspect. Once you qualify your sellers, you have to find out if there's motivation, because where there's motivation, there's usually a great wholesale deal. Just like where there's smoke, there's fire. Okay. If there's no smoke, there's no chance of finding a fire, and you will fail. I'm telling you, part of your qualification, you guys know the 4 qualifying questions. If you don't know it, go over to freewholesaling.com. I'm beating this to death because I want you guys to learn this business. Is you have to qualify them. And if they are not motivated, your odds of getting a deal at all are probably slim to none. So if there's no motivation, do not spend a lot of energy on these people unless something change. The only way it changes is time and circumstance. Okay. So we got those out of the way. Let's do what I call kind of the easy ones, which are the don'ts. And this is simple, but I'm telling you, this is everything I did in my career that I screwed up, definitely in the beginning, and I've definitely fixed. Coming in at number 5, stop trying to please your cash buyers. Guys, you only need one. And I get it. We're all working harder for cash buyers now, but remember, you are not there to appease them, okay? You are offering a product, which is your contract, and if it fits their specifications, move forward, get the proof of funds, and you have them. Don't ever chase a cash buyer down. Honestly, don't chase down a motivated seller. You have to have something they need. It's not the other way around. When they play poker face with you, just have them fold every time. You put your cards on the table. If you're firm on a number and you're confident you can get it, stick to it. Do not negotiate with cash buyers. You have something they need. You only need one. Most of the time, they're posturing to you, trying to get you to drop the deal. In the beginning, I dropped my price all the time because it made me uncomfortable. Once I learned to stick to my guns, that there are more cash buyers than deals out there, I understood that I was holding all the cards. They wanted the deal in. I told them what they had the deal in for, and that was it. And I only needed one. Okay. I constantly bid cash buyers up against each other. I'm fair about it. I don't play games with it. But when it comes down to 2 or 3 buyers, I tell them to put their best offer forward, and whoever makes the fairest offer with the quickest terms will get the deal. And when they call to chew me out, I take them off my list, and I never want to deal with it. Guys, we deal with enough crap from sellers. Do not put up with anything from your cash buyers. And let me tell you what, I learned this the hard way. Do not take your cash buyers out to dinner. Don't take them to lunch, maybe a cup of coffee, but do not have a personal relationship with them. It will skew how you make your offers to them, and they'll constantly work you until the point you'll stop doing business with them. I promise you, all your relationships with your cash buyers are temporary. Just understand that. Remember, you don't want to sell all your deals to 1 or 2 people. The business doesn't work that way. It means you're not maximizing your dollars. So stop trying to appease your cash buyers. Coming in at number 4, wholesalers make money today. Speculators eventually get slaughtered. Always, always remember that, okay? We are trading contracts today in real estate, and we're making it based on today's dollar. Speculators are trying to leverage a price today so the appreciation rides up in the future. If the appreciation rides up in the future, they're stuck with the property or they're going to lose money. Guys, wholesaling is about making money today. It doesn't matter if the market's going up and down. Speculators are basically rookies that are taking a gamble, and the longer they gamble, the house is eventually going to win. How do I know this? I speculated for a short 2-year period, and I got killed on the deals. I never, ever lost a dime wholesaling. Okay. Because we are calculating today's numbers. Speculators are hoping for market conditions to change in their position. This is what you've seen for the last 5 years. Those times are really gone right now. Guys, wholesalers make money today. The minute you're depending on appreciation, you are now in this speculative narrative. Okay, some of it's going to resonate with you guys. Never ever rely on one single wholesale deal. If you do, you're doomed. Okay, you've got to have lots of deals lined up in your pipeline because, dude, stuff happens. Sellers flake out. I've had people pass away. I've had a lot of stuff happen, and my heart got ripped out of my chest, and it breaks my heart. And I don't want you in that position. Here's how you cure it: get lots of deals in your pipeline. So if you have 10 or 15 deals in your pipeline, probably 1 or 2 aren't going to work out. That's okay because you got 8 or 10 more that are going to work out. The problem is if you only have 1 or 2 deals in your pipeline, you start to try to make a deal work no matter what because you want that like victory trophy. No, the only victory trophy is the profit in your bank account. So never ever rely on one single deal. It will force you to do stupid decisions and you won't make money doing that. So listen, if you play this game long enough, deals fall through. Don't worry. You will win more than you lose 90% of the time. Okay. Oh, here's my favorite one. Dude, guys, I'm telling you, the one I'm putting up right now is probably the biggest mistake I try to teach everybody on these live streams. You ready? Stop trying to make your comps work. Okay. Comps are nothing more than a range. Okay. They should be within 10% max. That's it. So, okay, Rick, well, what do you mean? If you spend hours doing comps, you're in realtor world. Okay. Stop trying to cherry pick your comps. Your comps should never take you more than 10 minutes and you should have a range. And it's not like rock solid, but I sit in the most conservative. So when I do comps, if I can, I try to throw out the high one, I throw out the low one, and those are my comps and I have a range. Okay. Your comps should be factual data. If you start cherry picking comps like realtors do, you are in the speculative world and you will eventually get killed doing that. Okay. Look at your comps, listen to what your cash buyers are telling you, and you can adapt as a wholesaler and make money on every deal. Okay. If you try to shove comps down your cash buyers' throats and you try to justify them and you defend them like a politician, you're going to get killed in this business. Comps are simply a range, 10 minutes. If you spend more than 10 minutes on comps, it means you paid too much for the property. Dude, I know everything I tell you is not what you want to hear, but it is the hard, cold truth. Gurus won't tell you this stuff. They'll tell you, spend hours on comps, make them work. Okay. I saved the best for last. And this is probably the biggest problem I see with wholesalers. Now, this usually doesn't happen in the first 6 months, but after the first 6 months through the first 2 years, this always happens. Avoid the fix and flip temptation. It's a trap. Why do I know this? I probably did 50 fix and flips because I thought I could make more money on it. And guess what I did when I did fix and flips? I stopped wholesaling because I had to deal with so many properties to repair. I had to run construction crews. Guys, that was a full-time job and I hated every minute of it. And here's the problem with fix and flips. Like today in our current market environment, you are not in control. There's 2 huge variables in fix and flips. Number one, the repairs will be always more than what you estimate them to be. Okay. So if inflation rages or anything like that, your repairs can go up 20, 30%. The next thing is a lot of fix and flips take anywhere from 6 months to a year. And guys, do you know what happens to a market in 6 months to a year? Most fix and flippers today are getting killed. They are running for the doors, the exit doors, because they're all calling me. And I'm telling you, if you get tempted to get in the fix and flip business, understanding your profit won't be nearly what you think. The closing costs, the transaction costs are high. The holding costs are high. You have no idea how to deal with contractors. They are some of the, I'm telling you, there's some of the toughest people to work on it. And these are my friends, but they will rip you off if you don't know what you're doing. And then you are controlled by what the market is going to offer that property. You can't control the market. You can't control the contracts. You can't control the rehab costs. The only thing you can control is when you purchase that property for a wholesale price, Stay in the zone where you make the money and you can do it over and over. I'd rather you do 2 or 3 wholesale deals a month. It's going to be much more profitable than any fix and flip. Listen, fix and flip is such a sucker's game. I did it for 2 years. Worst decision of my life. And most people do it because they just love fixing up houses. If you love that stuff, go be a designer, go be a realtor, go get an A&E show, because I'm just here to tell you, like, it's, you don't just, all those A&E shows, you never know what they really, nobody ever shares the real numbers. It's all BS. Oh, I bought it for 100. We fixed it up. We sold it for 200. We made 100,000. Oh, so no rehab cost, no holding cost, no realtor cost, title insurance costs. It's ridiculous, guys. I'm just telling you, stay out of the fix and flip zone unless that's truly your passion. And unless your partner is a contractor, I would avoid it. I went down this for a 2-year stint and I didn't make a lot of money. My income was literally cut in half, and I worked 10 to 12-hour days. So that is it on my my top 10. Honestly, I could go on forever, but those are, in my opinion, the absolute most important ones. And I want you to understand that. So let me go through and let's go through some questions here. Awesome. I tell you, man, leave the country for a week. It'll change your perspective on the United States. So, I just, I enjoy everything this country gives to us. So it's the good and the bad. So, what's up, Olivia? So yeah, me and Zach will put out a video. So we were actually doing wholesaling deals while we were out there fishing. We actually had a sell signal. So, but that's the whole idea of wholesaling, guys, is you can do the things that you truly love. You don't have to love fishing. Substitute with something else, rock climbing, spending more time with your family, traveling, like whatever it is. Like once you figure out wholesaling, you can operate it from anywhere, because I always tell you guys, don't go get an office because it's a trap. Okay. The people that truly make money in wholesaling are the ones that you spend a little bit of money on marketing once they figure it out and get some money in their bank account. And then they do deals, because remember, your customers, you go to them, they rarely ever come to you. Why have an office? Anybody can work virtually. If you're going to spend $3,000 or $4,000 on office, you might as well spend that on marketing, because it'll make you a heck of a lot more money. So, what's up, Corey? We spoke earlier. My favorite is when I see an assignment deal on a Facebook marketplace. Interesting. So, okay, guys, let's jump into it while I still have a voice. Rivon, you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. What's going on, man? What can I help you out with?
Hi, Rick. Hi. So, my name is Ravon. So, I live in San Diego, and I'm 18. So, I was wondering, like, I was trying to do regular wholesaling, not
Okay.
virtual. And the problem is, I pulled up the code violations in our city, and when I search it up on Zillow for sale rents, all of them are $1 million, not even for sale, like regular
Okay.
Zillow.
Okay, Riven. So I'm gonna stop you right here. I'm gonna help you out. So you live in San Diego, right?
Yeah.
And you're doing virtual. Why?
No, I say, should I do virtual?
You do virtual.
No,
Correct.
I'm saying, like, I'm asking you, like, should I, like, switch to virtual wholesaling since, like, the houses here are, like, really expensive?
You're in San Diego, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you said something about New York City.
No. I said nothing about New York City. I was just
No,
talking about.
you're dead on. Don't try starting wholesaling in San Diego, dude. It ain't gonna work out. I,
Okay,
I'm
so.
just I'm cutting to the chase. I'm just gonna tell you the brutal truth. Do people have success doing it? They do, but they usually have a big money partner behind them, or they have
Oh,
access to like real estate agents. You're dead on. You're 100% right. Sorry,
okay.
it's just the
Thank you.
truth.
Okay, and I had another question. So, like, if I'm going to do virtual wholesaling, and suppose, like, I find, like, we already on contract, the seller agreed to the contract and all, and
Hmm.
um, for the cash buyer, like, if he wants to see the property, do I have to pay him, or can he do it for free? Like, if he wants to see the property just in case, if he wants to buy it.
So the key is you have to vet your cash buyer before they
Yeah. I mean, like,
because
after a
if
vet.
not, yeah, if not, you wind up being a real estate agent. But no, but they got to show they're serious. So if they'll put up the proof of funds,
Yeah.
um, you ask them if they've worked with an assignment, a contract, because that's one of the biggest qualifying things for cash buyers.
Mhm.
They either go, I know what a cash buyer is. I mean, I know what an assignment is, or like, what are you talking about? I'm here to tell you, if they've never heard of an assignment of contract,
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to be a good buyer, because it's going to take you like 5 sessions to explain it to them, because they're scared. They think you're trying to scam them. Okay. They don't
Oh,
understand the concept. Most people have to be introduced to it once or twice before they can even do an assignment of contract, because they don't understand it. Okay. By the
okay.
way, 95% of real estate agents don't understand assignment of contract. You know why?
Well,
Because there's a box on every real estate contract for realtors
mm-hmm.
says, do you want to sign this or not? 99% of the realtors check no assignment. You know why?
Why?
Because that's what they were taught in real estate school. They just skip it. Like, I don't even know why.
Oh, I
It is
see.
a benefit for a realtor to assign a contract, because if they want to give it to their partner, or they want to close it in an LLC name, it doesn't mean they get out of the contract. It just means they can assign the rights to somebody else. So um, the main thing is, go through freewholesaling.com. It'll teach you everything. But proof of funds, and have you ever done an assignment of contract, and are you comfortable with it? And ask it
Uh,
just like that. Just hit them in the face,
mm-hmm.
because in the beginning, you'll waste your time with people that'll just lie to you. Most of them wind up being wholesalers,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just trying to get your properties under contract. You have to vet those people out. That's why today I was telling you, got to vet your cash buyers. How do you vet them? You just call them up and go, hey, you got a proof of funds? Hey, have you ever bought a investment property via assignment of contract? And they go, yeah, I understand. Now, if they've never done it, I use it as a teaching moment, and I put them in touch with my title company, and I actually have them go by there, and we'll walk them through how a title assignment of contract. But that person is probably 2 to 3 months away from ever buying a property from me, because they have to understand it. Sometimes they have to hire a lawyer and do all this crazy stuff. I don't sit around and wait for those people.
Got it.
But no, they don't pay anything, but they have to demonstrate that they will go through and do these things for it. So basically, their contract is the assignment of contract. So if they'll fill out the assignment of contract, do the proof of funds, and then leave a non-refundable deposit, dude, you
Mm-hmm.
can you can come see my property anytime.
Oh, I see. I see. I see.
Okay, but if you do it the other way, you wind up being a real estate agent, and you're actually showing a property. You're not selling a contract, and you're probably breaking multiple statutes in whatever state you're in, and you want to avoid that. So, most importantly, do you know how to go out and pick your virtual market the
Like right
easiest
now,
way?
I'm using like Zillow for sale rents, but like if that doesn't work, then I'm just gonna put a pull out code violations or whatever market I'm focusing on.
Correct. So the first thing you got to do is find your market. The easiest way to do it is
Mm-hmm.
do exactly the opposite of what I'm telling you now, is get on cash buyers list in areas that you're interested in, get signed up on their list, and then they'll start sending you deals via email or text. And
Mm-hmm.
then I want you to track the zip codes and the price points, and see if you can notice a trend. Go to Facebook groups, find other wholesalers. The problem wholesalers have, and I had it in the beginning, is they like to brag. And once they
Oh,
brag,
mm-hmm.
take full advantage of it, because they will do all the marketing homework for you, and they will point you to where the gold is. Once you know where the gold is, then you go find the code violations, all the government lists, and you attack them.
So do I use Facebook for that? Do I contact them through?
Facebook groups. So
Mhm.
if I was in like Knoxville, I would type in like Knoxville real estate investor groups, and then I would be part of that group, and then I would look, and people say, hey, sign up for my cash buyers list. They don't vet them. They've got thousands of people on them. I probably get 32 notices a day of properties for sale all over the country, because I'm on everyone's lists.
Oh, okay, okay, I
Okay.
see. Yeah.
Let them do the work for you, because
Mhm.
Zillow, you're going to be hit or miss. You can use listrei.com. You can work it there, but I'm just to get the real like live data, get on cash buyers list for wholesalers and track the zip codes. And
Okay,
remember,
okay,
they're offering properties that they actually have under contract, and it's easy to tell if they are or not. It's really easy to tell. And
okay.
if you like an area, try to find another wholesaler in there, and then you can corroborate the zip codes, and then you go, okay, dude, this looks like a really good area to start. And then you go get your government list and just completely attack.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I see. And then it's okay I can use Zillow, right? Like I know I could pull up code violations, but like I'm thinking starting out with Zillow for sell rents, like I seen on your
You
videos.
can, you can do it. It's just you're gonna have to make a lot of phone calls. So I'm not saying you can't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
I just gave you the cheat sheet on how to do virtual markets, dude. It works every time. I'm in so many virtual markets. I don't even go out and do the research. I just find someone that posts like 20, 30 properties, and then I take proof of stake with my team, and then we find people that, and hey, I just made 30 grand here. I just sold these 4 houses. I'm like, dude, if he can do it, I can do it. You just
Okay.
got to find out how to connect with them. So,
Okay. Let me write this down. Sorry, yeah.
yeah, you got it.
Oh,
Go back and this is all recorded, so you can do it.
yeah.
So, government list, use reverse cash buyers lists from other wholesalers, and find your target markets. It's easy when you do that because that's live data. Understanding everything in PropStream and like all these other services, sometimes they're 30 days to 6 months behind.
Oh, I
So
see.
markets are kind of changing right now. So you
Hmm.
want to be on top of it and see where people are having success. Dude, go to
Okay.
Ohio. Ohio's like there's cheap properties everywhere. Ohio, Michigan, Tennessee. Like dude, I just gave you like almost all the markets I do. But there's a million cities and you can pick away at them.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. I
In
see.
the old days, we used to go through all this data. I used to spend like $500-$600 figuring out a market. I go, why don't we just use other wholesalers that can't like let their ego goes, and let's just utilize them.
Oh, I
And
see.
we use them like the mule. You just ride them, and then
Mhm.
they find where the water hole is, and you just pump out all the water you want.
Okay.
It
Okay.
works.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay. Okay, Raven. Okay, awesome. Yvonne, you there? Yvonne.
Hi, Rick. Can you hear me?
Yes. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Well, actually, I just got off the phone with a potential seller, and I'm going to go meet him in about 2 days.
Okay.
Um, However, my question is that it's a fire damaged property, possible just vacant land. And I know you just said don't focus on the comps too much, but is there something that I could look at to maybe get a rough estimate of comps that would be more reliable?
Well, see, with fire damage property, it's completely different because it depends on uh, how much damage was done to it. So Zach is like he's the one who handles fire damage in our company
Okay.
because I've been a lost puppy. So you've got to look at the damage that's on the house. So if you can get report of sometimes police department, fire departments will put damage estimates on it. Some houses are totaled, some are just small fires in the kitchen. So
Total. It went to the other house as well next door.
okay, so you have to find out if the house is salvageable or not. So first thing is either the house has to be knocked down and start out and it's raw land,
Hmm.
other than a pad, or it needs 50% rehab. The only way to find out is you got to go out and look at the house. There's no other way to do it. Like I don't know of any, unless the homeowner will tell you. This is how you usually find out from the homeowner is they're going to make an insurance claim. Most likely they have an insurance policy on it, and they'll tell you what they filed the insurance claim for. And that should guide you to give a real number to figure out what to make a sensible offer on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if they told you it was $120,000 of damage and the house is worth 300,000, you can just back off your math and do it that way. Remember, it's an estimate in the beginning. Fire damage has a lot of flexibility into it because there's between electrical, structural, plumbing, and there's a lot of stuff that like in fire damage that's hard to fix. I know if it gets to a certain percentage, it's just easier to knock the house down and start over.
Hmm.
So find out if it's a completely rebuild or you can work with it.
Okay.
And the best way to find out is look at the property, talk to them about the insurance claim, how much they're, because the homeowner always knows. If the place you lived in burnt down, you would know how long before you get back in it and what the damage would be to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But remember, fire damage, there's not a lot of people that'll buy them. So you don't get nearly as much competition as you do on a regular house.
Yeah,
So
that was
don't let it,
actually my next question.
it's just a math problem. That's all it is. Remember, the main thing is you focus on the seller's motivations and help the seller out. The real estate guys is nothing more than a mathematical equation part of it. I'm
Okay.
always helping people out first. The real estate comes along, and sometimes I make a mistake. Sometimes the seller makes a mistake, but you can always recover on any contract that you write,
Yeah,
especially on fire damage, because everything's subject to inspection. So even if you miss the number of you
mhm.
can adjust it.
Okay.
Okay. So go out and meet with them and collect all the data. and we're here 6 days a week. Let me know how I can help you out with it.
All right, cool. And then my second question would just be, is the cash buyers kind of the same, just kind of go find them?
Yeah.
Process?
When it comes to fire damage properties, there are particular buyers that specialize in that. And so let them know up front when you get it under contract, it's a fire damage property. People will either run to it or run away from it. If you have to explain how fire damage works to a cash buyer, they're not going to be a cash buyer for a fire damaged house because there's a lot of permitting and a lot of inspections it has to go through. So it usually takes like a builder grade type of person that wants to buy that.
Okay.
Like I've never tried to rehab, even the days when I did rehab, which was a big mistake, guys. I would never touch a fire damaged house because it's just too complicated. There's a lot of paperwork, but people who've done multiple fire damage house, they're really good at it and they know the exact permits and the people to see in that town or city.
Okay.
Okay. So go help them out. You got it.
Yeah, I was just thinking to call the people who either bought land in the last year and kind of work backwards from that.
Honestly, I would just advertise for fire damage property, you know, must
Fire
sell,
damage.
great deal,
Okay.
and let them attract to you. So when they call, they're not playing stupid. They know they're getting a fire damage property up front. Don't hide it because you're just going to waste time.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Okay. You got this. Go get it.
All right, thanks, Rick.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Let's see here. You there?
Yeah, what's going on, Rick?
I'm not. Have I talked to you before?
No, this
Or
is
you-
my first time being on the
Okay.
live.
So help me pronounce your name correctly because I don't want to butcher it because everybody butchers my last name.
It's the Quavion.
DeQuavion. Okay. I would have been close. Where are you calling from?
Michigan.
Where?
Michigan.
Oh, dude, you're like the central of wholesaling, dude. You're probably one of the best states to do it.
Yeah,
I get in trouble for saying that now because I got a lot of friends at wholesaler. They're like, stop telling everyone Michigan's good. Dude, Michigan's not good. It is great. So what can I help you out with?
So last week I had went down to my courthouse and I requested a code violation for water shutoffs. And they were giving me a hard time. I went to another water department that's in a township in my city as well. And they were giving me a hard time as well. So I had filed a FOIA act, and then they sent me an email and denied my request. So I guess my question would be, where do I go from there?
Well, listen, I'm not a big fan of the FOIA thing because I feel like sometimes. So let me ask you, you're talking about water shutoffs, correct?
Yeah. And I also, I just asked for code violations as well.
And they denied you on code violations?
Yeah.
I would ask them, on what grounds are you denying me like this information? Like, is it not public information? Is there something I'm missing? And just keep like pressing away on water shutoffs. Just it's 50-50 across the country. So the first thing is they have to be a public utility. And number two, you got to get past like the gatekeeper. I put the FOIA out there just to let them know that it's there. The problem is, the reality is, you file a FOIA request, you can be waiting months. I've even heard of like 9 months, and that doesn't help you out today. And so I hate the BS paperwork. Between you and me, it's kind of like a bluff threat. It's just the truth. I'm just telling you, because I've never ever filed one. Okay. Because the paperwork's probably about that thick. And I didn't get in the wholesaling to file government paperwork. So I always ask, and I kill them with kindness. And at the very end, when I get to like the road stop and she's like, you're out of options. And here's what I simply said. My attorney said, if I'm out of options, I have the right to file a FOIA request. I don't want to do that. Like, we're all here local. We all work together. We all have families. I just want access to the information. It is public information. If not, I just need to get your name, number, and like your employee ID so I can put it on the FOIA request. Sometimes that'll scare the crap out of them. Between you and me, I've never done that. I've threatened it. I've waited a month and then I've gotten it. But you have to make a decision how far you're going to go with it. Because honestly, I don't think it's worth filing the paperwork, because Maybe you get the list once and then you're going to have to go through the same crap every time. Sometimes you just go to find greener pastures and find easier ways to do it. But like anything in life, if you just try to sweet talk people, did you go in person to get these requests, or was it via phone or email?
I went in person.
Usually the in-person thing works. So maybe try to recircle it one more time with kindness. The water shutoff, it's 50-50. I wouldn't go too far with that. The code violation, I think they have a little bit of a problem there. And I would just say, listen, I would get the final person and kind of get their name and go, listen, I don't want to do all this stuff. But like, if I have to, I've done this before and I've been successful. By the way, FOIA, if they violate it, it's $10,000 per incident to that department. So they probably think you're bluffing. You got to decide if you want to do the bluff or not. The reality is this information is getting harder and harder to get, but it doesn't change the fact that a lot of this is public information. And if you pay taxes like everybody else does, you have the same legal right to it as the government does. And it's kind of BS. They don't give it to you, but sometimes you just got a gatekeeper you can't get around. Dude, I sit there and try to sweet talk the ladies all day long to get that information. And when I can't do it, I used to send my wife in. And honestly, people tell me, no. I'd send my wife in. Like, they gave her everything in 5 minutes. I'm just like, this is such BS. So I'm just giving you tricks of the trade. I don't have a lot of secrets. Just be persistent. Just be as nice as you can until they stop being nice to you. And once they stop being nice to you, go, listen, I don't want to do this, but my lawyer told he'd be happy to file a FOIA request. I just need to get your information from work here. And just, kind of note the time and then decide if you want to do the bluff. You can do a FOIA request. I've never done one. I'm not going to waste my time doing it. So if not, move on to other government lists, do some courthouse stuff, and then kind of go from there, or find another city where you can get the information. So guys, FOIA, just so you know, it's a very thick packet you got to fill out. And even if you get it granted to you, it's up to them when they want to submit it, and they'll delay you as long as they possibly can. So when you file for a FOIA, understanding you're just making a legal maneuver, and you got to go find another avenue to find leads, because that's one's going to be difficult forever. So either switch characters, send in a lady, send in a younger person, or just go in and try to sweet talk them, look at their photos behind the counter, and just see if you can connect with them. And I always say, listen, we work in the same city. I understand you have a job to do, but I believe I have the legal right to this information as a taxpayer for this information. And that's it. So the water shutoff, I wouldn't push it. This is relatively new in the last 3 years. And I have plenty of public places that kick me out. I never filed the FOIA. I just move on.
Okay. And I also had another question. I've been thinking about reaching out to real estate agents. I was wondering, should I tell them that I'm an investor or a wholesaler?
So here's simply what you want to do is understanding that 8 out of 10 realtors are not going to jive with what you're doing, meaning they're not going to like what you're doing. So remember, your questions have to be in order of importance. So when you call a realtor, just simply saying, hey, do you ever work with the investment aspect of real estate properties? And based on the response, you can decide if you want to hang up or move on. Don't ever, guys, listen to me. Don't ever explain to a realtor what a wholesaler does. You're wasting your time. They are all told wholesalers are bad. If you want to use a word, use real estate investment. They're more open to that because they have a shot at listing those properties. So I always do an opening line, and based on if they chew me out or they're like, what do you, or like, yeah, I sold a couple of dirty houses. And then once I can connect with them, this is all I tell them. Listen, I don't need you to call me on every listing. I'll usually buy them a cup of coffee or even a lunch. I'm usually looking for older realtors that are halfway out of the business, that don't want to do a lot of work, or brand new realtors that just want to go through everything. 95% of all real estate transactions go through real estate agents. So you wholesalers that refuse to work with realtors, you're missing out on a lot of opportunities. Go listen on the properties you cannot sell, or say they're listed for 3 months or longer. Give me a call. Let me see if I can find an angle for you that I can get it sold. And remember, what's the most important thing they want at the end of that conversation as a realtor? What do you think?
The commission?
Yes. You have to answer that. Are you going to pay me my commissions if I work with you? Absolutely. And I might be able to give even you paid twice on your commissions. Sometimes if you buy a property and it gets relisted, I don't promise it. I said there's a possibility. Occasionally I've done it, but it's very rare. So I'm looking for the ones that the properties you can't sell, or when you go on that meeting and you go on the property and it smells and it's dirty and it's nasty and you don't know how you're going to sell it, call me before you list it and I'll pay you your full commission. And it'll pay it cash and I'll close it quickly and you don't have to go through all that market charades. That's all I'm looking for. And most realtors only call me 2 to 3 times a year. That's all you want. Here's the problem. If a realtor calls you with every deal, they think you're going to buy every deal they can't sell. After the first 10 they offer you, they're going to like, well, he's not going to buy anything I've presented him. So just say, listen, just call me 2 to 3 times a year. I'm fine with it. That's all that qualifies. Realtors go out to troubled properties all the time and they list them and they wonder why they won't sell. If they see a property that's a hoarder's house or something that's vacant and it's in rough shape and you can buy it quickly and you'll treat them fairly, those are the deals you're looking for. When I first started out my first 30 days, I met with, unfortunately, I reached out to 150 realtors. 10 of them met with me, and of 3 of them, I formed a great relationship, and I wound up buying 5 properties in my first year with them. And every one of them was like, hey, I looked at this property. I don't like it. It stinks. It needs a cash buyer. Do you think you could give like a fair cash offer that I get paid for? And that's how I bought them. Okay. The other ones are the ones they've listed for 3 or 6 months and they can't sell. Call me. I'll give it a shot. But those are usually pretty tough, just to be honest with you. I have to do something really creative to make them work. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Realtors will drive you nuts, man. They talk a different language, and do not try to explain a wholesaler to them. They don't care. We are like the devil to them. So don't explain it to them. Are you interested in the real estate investment aspect? Do you have any deals that need to sell for cash? So most realtors are terrible with cash buyers, and that's where you come in. Okay. And understand, if you contact 10 realtors, you might get 1 or 2 that'll hear you out. They all have like a preset notion of how you're going to do it. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
You got to say what's in it. What's in it for the realtor? And you have to think from that standpoint. And if you don't solve that in the first 2 or 3 minutes, they're going to hang up on you. Okay. And usually they're brand new to the business. If you guys want to cheat sheet how you find brand new realtors, go to your licensing department for your state, and it will give you a cheat sheet of everybody who applied to be a real estate agent. I used to do that too. I did that big time. I had an employee. That's all they did. They contacted brand new real estate agents. They're either brand new or they're usually 10 years plus in the business and they do it part-time. Those are the ones I target.
Okay.
The high profile realtor and stuff, I just avoid altogether. I don't want to touch them. Okay.
Understandable.
Yep. Okay. Anything else?
No, I just want to thank you guys for the content that you post on here, for helping all of us get into this industry. I appreciate it.
Keep it going, man. Okay, man. Okay. We'll be here all week, man. Let me know how it works out.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Okay. I'll see you, man. Okay. We're rolling today, man. Franklin, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey. How you doing?
Good, man. What can I help you out with?
Yeah, so I got like 3 questions because I'm 17. I want to do virtual wholesale, like as soon as I can. Yeah, but I got like 3 questions before I start. Like I can start as soon as tomorrow, start cold calling. Like I'm not shy. Like I want some money, you know?
Okay, shoot.
Yeah. So let's say I call the cash buyer, right? He's like, and the cash buyer, he needs to go see the property, right? What if like during the inspection period, the cash buyer goes to the property, he can just go in there, right? If I like the seller, knowing.
So just to let you know, when you deal with a cash buyer and they sign your assignment of contract, everything has to go through you. Anytime they go outside of you, they actually void the contract, and it's in writing. I already have that language written in the contract for you. Have you been to freewholesaling.com?
Yeah, that's why I get like almost everything.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I got the contract, everything.
You want to go through the whole thing thoroughly, dude. So, are you still in school? You out of school, or what's going on?
I start school in September.
Okay.
Only
So
September.
what grade you going in?
Senior, even though I don't look like it.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So that's right about when my son got started. So look at, I was a terrible student, so I'm not like a good judge with it. If you're dead serious about wholesaling, go through freewholesaling.com. Like if you don't pass this course, you're not getting into school. Dude, I'm here to tell you the stuff we teach is the stuff that will actually make a huge difference in your life. I'm not knocking on teachers and stuff.
Yeah.
Most of my friends are teachers. My wife is a teacher. Just our system's broke what we teach. It's completely broke. It doesn't teach you how to make money and how to make a lifestyle. It just teaches you how to get a job.
Yeah.
So
and I don't like jobs, to
the
be
fact
honest.
that you're talking to me says you're open to it. So what is your why for doing wholesaling? Like why you want to do it?
Well, you can do it virtually, like from your bedroom and everything. That's what I like about it. You don't have to go out to places and all that. And also, I'm not shy. Cold calling and all of that, I'm fine with it. Also, the money that you get is not bad, depending on how good you are negotiating the price and the house. You know what I mean? That.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I kind of like real estate because I actually want to do real estate fix and flips and all that. Buy apartments, then rent it out, fix it up, and rent it. When I 22.
Okay.
But I want to start doing wholesale.
Okay.
And make some money from between here 17 and 18.
So Franklin, do me this favor. Just focus on wholesaling because this is what I teach everyone. If you guys can master wholesaling, it will give you a skill for the rest of your life that can never be taken away from you. No government can pull it away from you, and it will reward you, and then you can build on it. The most successful people I ever met in real estate, they all have the same thing. They have the fundamentals of wholesaling down. Because if you can buy properties for cheap, you can do whatever you want down the road. You want to do a fix and flip, although I tell you to avoid it because you can make more money in wholesaling. You can do buy and holds. You can have large portfolios like I do. You can do whatever you want. I get paid every month if I talk to you or not. And I didn't start out doing it. Dude, I didn't figure this out till I was 33. And then I went on a 7-year journey, then I had to learn how to keep money. That's the next journey you go on after that. If you can figure out how to do wholesaling and then work with like my son, go over to his YouTube channel, Rick Ginn. He teaches especially young people and old people.
That's why I got most
Once
of my
you get the money, what to do with it. Because if you can make that sacrifice now, and here's the funny thing is, how long do you think you truly have to sacrifice to be wildly successful in life? How many years do you think?
I mean, you have to get experience and everything. Maybe a couple years, maybe 2 to 3 years.
2 years.
Or 2.
2 years will put you in the top 1%.
Okay.
Nobody in America wants to suck it up. That's just the truth. The only reason I'm different than you is, unfortunately, I took more than 2 years. I took like 10 years because I spent my money. I was a wild child. So I'm telling you, if you can take 2 at 17, my God, you could destroy you could make such a difference in your family's life, the entire world, and everything you want to do.
Yeah.
But you got to do the work. The problem is all you guys are sold that wholesaling. You're sipping cocktails next to a pool in Hawaii. And dude, the first 2 years you're out there, you're busting your hump. And if you can get through that first 2 years, Zach did it at 17, just what you are. He gave everything this first 2 years, and then it just snowballed. After 2 years, he didn't need mom and dad anymore. Like he's like, I can do this, I can do that. And then he took his money and he invested in it. And I'm just telling you, you're so young. If you could start with some of the disciplines now, you can do anything you want. Like you can take that money, you can go buy businesses, you can do anything you want. And I'm telling you, just start with the fundamentals. Don't try to take down the empire in your first year. Just try to go out and get your first deal. Our whole program here is to get you to first $100,000. If you can't get to the first 100 grand, you can't get to that first million. If you can get to the first 100 grand, I can give you an easy blueprint to the first million.
Okay.
100 grand is extremely achievable. It's not as hard as you guys think it is.
I don't think it's hard. I don't. I don't really think it is. Like I know I'm gonna do it because like I'm ready to put in the work. And so I have another question if that's all right.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I have a question. So when you're doing it virtually, right? When you call a title company, they know how to do assignment of contract and all that. So basically, the assignment of contract, right? That's the one that goes to the cash buyer. Do I send it to the title company virtually, or does it go exactly to the cash buyer? Like which of the contracts do I send to the title company?
So all this, Franklin's going to be in freewholesaling.com, but you need to use a local title company in the county that you're buying the property in.
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
you're focusing on a particular county, you need to have, first of all, that the requirements are that title company is licensed and insured in that particular state. So you got to use that title company.
Okay.
Then keep in mind, you got to have, sometimes people have to drive out there to get documents notarized. So you want to make it convenient. So usually you're doing business in one county, pick one title company, and you've got to vet your title companies. So if you go through my course, I teach you the right questions to ask the title companies. I even did a 30-minute video in Flip with Rick. Just
Okay. Yeah.
you can put it in there. Title companies, how to vet your title company, and I walk through and I give you word by word what to say to them. And
Okay.
dude, let me tell you what if you pick the wrong title company, if you do everything right, it will destroy your deal. Just
Oh, okay.
understand 95% of title companies are geared towards retail real estate agents, not people like you and me.
Yeah.
So they've got to speak our lingo. And it's simply saying, do you work with investors? Are you familiar with assignment of contract? Are you comfortable with it? And if they tell you any like they're not, just move on. That's it. It's real simple. And depending on how many virtual markets you have, you need to focus on one, get one in that area you want to do business with, and start building a relationship with them, because they are kind of like, they are your team member and you need them on your side, because no one's seeing you virtually. So you have to have them kind of vouch for you and help you with all the documents and stuff like that. Remember, the really cool thing about wholesaling is you don't need to know how to do everything. Your biggest, highest paid job is locating motivated sellers. And then you can learn the process as you go. This isn't like school where you take 6 years and try to learn everything and then try to apply it and get your butt kicked. This one is, I find the motivated seller, show me how to get to the finish line. And we give you enough of an education to make sure you're not getting screwed on the deal. So,
Okay. So the
you
title
just got to
company.
find one that'll work with you. A lot of title companies don't like working with wholesalers. It's just the truth, period.
Okay.
So find one in that county, particularly in that city that you're doing business with. And you'll probably have to go through quite a few. Use social media, find other investors that use title companies in that area you're doing business with, and
No,
just
yeah, I found
piggyback
a
on them.
website. I found a website that shows all the title companies that are familiar with wholesaling and all that. So yeah, each state and everything. And so basically, title companies, they'll help me with that transaction, everything. They basically help me along the way.
They'll help you, but you still need to educate yourself at freewholesaling.com. I got plenty of
Okay.
videos on it.
Okay.
Your title company is kind of like your partner in the deal. Remember, they're making money off you too. So they want the deal to close. You just
Oh,
got to
okay.
let them know what your end goal is. And if they don't agree with your end goal, get rid of them. And you
Oh,
need to
okay.
know up front, because they'll screw your deal up otherwise. It's very hard to switch title companies once you give it to them. It's very hard. It's a pain in the butt, because you're going to create distrust in your seller and they don't think you know what you're doing. So for that reason, you've got to know who your title company is up front. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So
Okay.
the closing cost, it goes to the buyer, right? The closing
Correct.
cost. Okay.
On
So
an
I don't have to
assignment of
worry about the
contract, so
closing
you don't have
cost.
to worry about. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I have one more question. I'm sorry. I'm just.
okay, last one though. Okay, because I'm
Yeah,
trying to
this is the
help out
last
as
one.
many
I
people
have
as I
three.
can. Go ahead.
I have three in total. So basically, a software, right? The for virtual hosting, a software. Do you think it's gonna help me? I know I still have to put in the work code and all that, but in order to find MLS, houses, cash
Which
buyers,
software?
it's between PropStream or Bashleys. I don't know which one. Which one is better for a beginner like me? Virtual hosting.
Okay, so here's the really cool thing, guys, is me and Zach are the only people that basically give 2 recommendations for softwares. Okay. Why? Because I don't own any of these companies and I use them both, period. Okay.
Okay.
Every other guru you see in the business, they are completely in bed with one company and they're going to drive them to you every which way. We told the companies we work with them, like, we're going to pick the 2 best companies and work with them. Okay. Honestly, I do the same thing for printing. Unfortunately, there's only one quality company out there, in my opinion. I've tried them all. I've been printing for 20 years. I know exactly how they'll screw you, like what the costs are and everything. So you have PropStream, which you go to listrei.com, and then you got Batch. Okay.
Yeah.
I like them both. I use them both, but I've been doing this a long time. I can afford to use them both. You only need one. You don't technically need any of them. The advantage of them is it can work like an employee for you, especially if you're doing virtually. It's $100 a month after you get through your test trial. And it's much cheaper than hiring an employee, much, much cheaper than hiring an employee. I would suggest you stay away from it till you get your first deal. And I'm not getting paid to say this. I'm just telling you, you don't need it. The only advantage is you get 10,000 leads with it for $100, and that's pretty cheap if you think about it. Okay.
Yeah, because I
If
can
you
get
had to do both of them and you're starting out, if you can't go wrong with either one. PropStream's a little bit simpler and a little less complicated when you're starting out, and they have a one set price. Batch has a lot of service it can offer, and it can get confusing to a new person. I'm just being honest with you. So some people upgrade. The reality is once you pick one out, you usually stay with it because you're familiar with it. That's why people like Batch, and that's all they use. Because listen, if you use it for a year, it's like going from an Android phone to an Apple phone. It's like you're lost if you switch from one software to the other. Unless you want to do it for the leads, I'd stay away from it in the beginning, especially at 17. I'm just being, dude, I did all this without any of it the first 3 years. I didn't use any of these. But that was in the Stone Ages. I'm an old man, so
okay.
I would just use the free trial versions and you make your own opinion and you decide which one you do. PropStream's a little more straightforward, streamlined, a little bit cheaper. Batch offers some more services. So if you want to do like some skip tracing, stuff like that, it's kind of all built in one. So it's apples to oranges, so to speak. They're both high quality companies and we've never had an issue with customer service, and we use them in our business. That's why we recommend them. So I'm not going to steer you either way because you can't go wrong with either one. And we're the only company that can say that on the internet, because everybody else, they're all locked and loaded with one. I wonder why. Gee, I don't have an office in them. I don't have an investment with any of these companies. I'm not in the software game. I'm a wholesaler 100%. And I'm not going to change. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Let me know how it works out. Okay, man. Later. Marco, you there?
Hey, how's it going, Mr. Rick?
How you doing, man?
Doing good. Just, enjoying the heat.
Okay. What can I help you out with today?
Okay, so I have a couple questions. First, so I'm looking at these houses. They're really like in bad condition, right? Like they look like probably demos. Roofs caving in, garages caving in, no doors. They've just been standing there for a long time. And I was wondering how you price those out. How would you go ahead and give an offer for that?
So what state are you in?
California.
Okay.
In
North,
Fresno.
South? Fresno.
Yeah.
I'm not overly familiar with Fresno.
Yeah.
I just got back from Baja, so way south. How do you price them out? Honestly, are these houses you just drove around and found?
Yeah, one of them is, and one is actually somebody's family members that I know.
Okay.
But yeah, so
dude, before you even get into the weeds, what's the first thing you need to do?
I'm not sure. Contact the buyer.
And
I mean the seller.
Yeah, and what are you looking for?
Motivation.
Correct. Do not spend time doing these complicated like comps. If there's no motivation, it's a waste of time. So I don't want you to spend 30 minutes or an hour trying to calculate a number if they don't even want to do business with you.
Okay.
Once you seek motivation, then you can kind of get in the weeds and do some stuff. But the reality is, if I give you 20 houses, maybe one or two might have motivation. So instead of doing all that research on 20 houses, find the ones that want to work with you, then get into the weeds and have fun with it. But like you waste so much time trying to figure it out, especially stuff that's missing doors and like caved in roofs and stuff like that. It's just because you got to wonder, why is that property sitting so long, especially in the state of California? Like everybody knows California is not a cheap market. So if you've seen it, 1,000 other people have seen it, you got to wonder, why is that property still sitting there? What's going on? And until you get to that qualification, I do not get into the weeds on the comping on it. It's just a waste of time. Dude, I'm telling you, 20 years experience. I've spent thousands and thousands of hours comping properties that I had no business comping. And I don't want you to make that same mistake. Let it be a problem to comp it out. You call me back after that, I'll help you comp it out. But I'm just telling you, seek out the motivation first and it will fix a lot of your problems. Uh-oh, I lost you. Anyways, guys, do me a favor. Make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. It's rickginn.com. Also check out my son on Zach Ginn, wholesaling.com. And remember, I'm here every Monday night from 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be back on Thursday live with Zach. Zach will be on tomorrow and Wednesday. Guys, we run this 6 days a week. Check us out on YouTube, rickginn.com. Make sure you're subscribed. Zach Ginn, and we'll see you over at Flip with Rick. Guys, go out, find deals. Remember, seek motivation first. Learn from us. And guys, go over to freewholesaling.com. We'll show you how to get started, make your first 100 grand. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you a little bit later in the week. You guys have an excellent, excellent evening.